Kevin,
We're back.
good to see you again. It's
Likewise.
been like maybe 4 months, it feels like, since we had a last conversation on...
Yeah. You know,
the
it feels a
channel?
little longer for some reason.
It
Maybe
has,
we've been
yeah.
a little busy.
This is the thing, though, I found out. Time flies in Dubai.
Yes.
I don't know where the time has all gone. It's just disappeared, and it feels like you wish time away a lot of the time.
I saw someone the other day, and last time I saw him was a year ago, and I'm like, oh my gosh, you've aged like a lot. I'm like, it must be like the Dubai hustle and bustle, which is something that was common here.
Yeah.
He grew a full mustache since I last saw him. He's like #1 sales guy at his dealership. Really nice guy.
Fantastic.
From the UK too.
Fantastic.
But yeah, it's just crazy. Time does fly here.
Good.
You can get a lot done though.
Yeah. And how are things at GenZone and the business, generally speaking?
Yeah, so actually, I have some fun facts to share with you. So obviously, we've been growing. Everything has been going amazing. Everyone's very happy, both internally in the company and externally with our clients. But we've gotten some new achievements. So one thing that we've been told, and maybe I shouldn't be saying this, but we actually have the highest satisfaction/renewal rate for company licenses.
Okay.
With the Dubai Free Zone. So out of all the companies in the UAE, we're #1.
Wow.
And yeah, so the reason why is because, of course, people are having a good experience, but just having a good experience alone is not why you renew a license. The biggest factor behind that is we tell everything to our clients well in advance, and we're very transparent about things so that once it does come time to renew their license or do anything in the future, they know that, this is expected and it's not a surprise. Meaning there's no surprise fees or surprise costs that, you were not just told in advance. So that's something that we pride ourselves on, being very transparent. And also with Wio Bank, you know Wio Bank quite well.
Yeah.
We actually have the highest opening rate with their bank accounts. Yeah, so we're one of their top service providers.
Wow.
And I believe we're #1 for opening bank accounts there too, and we're the #1 with the highest opening rate as well. So these are some fun facts.
Congratulations, but to be honest though, it doesn't surprise me because in the Telegram group, the guys that have used you, like Mel and I can name a host of people, they've all given really, really, really good feedback about you guys and the time that you spend trying to help people understand the process and going the extra mile with answering questions and so on and so forth. So that doesn't surprise me at all. I think it's part of what you've built and the customer service levels that you want to attain to and maintain at as well. So it's fantastic.
Appreciate that. And it's super happy to hear that people have that experience. Also, I actually was speaking to someone yesterday. He is the CEO of a new company here in Dubai called Burj X. He was actually the founder of one of the biggest crypto exchanges in Canada. Closed that down. Well, they didn't close it down. He exited his shares. You don't close down one of the biggest companies, that's for sure. Exited his shares, moved here. And then he said something to me that I really relate to and I really, say a lot on my own. He said, if you move to Dubai and you start a business here, whether or not it's local or, not local, if you give a really good Western type of service, you're already better than 99% of the market. Yeah. And I genuinely believe this is true because even for our own business, this is exactly what happened. We're in one of the most competitive industries where there are just so many different competitors that charge more than us, less than us, the same as us, but we're still kind of dominating the space. Why? Because our service is significantly better. And I honestly think to me, it's just a normal service.
Yeah.
I'm trying to give a good service, but to me, that's the standard.
Yeah. I would agree with that because looking for apartments, that kind of stuff, I think if you come from the Western world, you have a certain expectation that isn't normal business practice here.
Yeah.
So if you are able to bring Western levels of service, you're pretty up there in terms of just the customer experience and the outcomes for the customers for sure, 100%. So I'd agree with that.
Yeah, even just going the extra mile, for example, with a rental, right? Let's say I was helping someone find a rental. Even for myself, I rent apartments where I like to live. I invest, I buy what I invest in, but I rent where I like to live, at least for now. Going the extra mile for a client would look like not just bringing them to the place and opening the door. It would look like getting them an actual report on what are the actual rental contracts in that area from data, right? People don't do that these days, unfortunately.
No. I've had situations where it's like, just pick up the keys downstairs with the security guard. I'm like, okay, that's a little weird because then you become paranoid. Like, what if something goes missing in it? And it's like, you're the last person that's in there. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Going the extra mile goes a long way.
Yeah, people don't do that. They just, and it's like for real estate agents, it could be just opening the door and letting the client look through it. Or you could be the number one agent or the top 1% and open the door, yes, but tell them what are the comparables.
Yeah.
Actually be critical on what they're looking at. Say, this is mold, this is broken, this should be fixed, this
Yeah.
shouldn't be like that.
Yeah.
Or this is good, looking at both sides. But people just don't do that. They just want to close the deal. Same thing with every industry. They just want to close the deal.
Quick turnaround.
Quick money, yep.
I mean, since the last time we spoke, a lot has obviously happened, and the business has grown, as you're saying there. You got some accolades there. I wanted to delve a little bit into kind of like you a little bit.
Yeah, let's do it.
And why you started GenZone. We did touch on it the last time, but I'm really, really keen, now that I've been here for a little bit longer as well, just to also get your experience, because I'm always comparing my own notes with other people as well. And I'll be interested to kind of like know, what was the real story behind you moving to Dubai in the first place? And did it live up to the immediate expectation that you had when you first moved?
Yeah, that's honestly amazing question. And I think a lot of people watching this will relate to it. So me personally, Dubai came into my mind right away when I started making significant money. I was always fine paying taxes, 20, 30, 40% in tax, even 40%. Nobody likes doing it, but it's okay.
Yeah.
But it only started really coming to my mind once that 40, 50, 55% came from a business that I knew, I don't have to be here. And I know that people online are moving to other places to legally pay 0% taxes. How can I do the same? And back then we had a marketing company. So that's what we did. We had an influencer marketing company. We ran marketing campaigns for some of the biggest brands in the world, Bybit, Binance, KuCoin, Mexi, all these major exchanges. So we worked with some of the big names in the industry, and I still have amazing relationships with them to this day. Actually, it's crazy how things come around, because now the people who I used to do marketing for, now I bring clients to them for major OTC deals or to onboard them for crypto cash out, my clients, to help them cash out their crypto legally, obviously. So it's awesome that those relationships, flourish into what we have today. But that's how it came to be. We were making a lot of money, and we were genuinely paying 50, 55% in taxes. On a personal level, 55%, corporate, whatever is in the company after paying salaries. So it just didn't feel good. And we were quick to make that decision. I remember my co-founder, he was actually fine staying in Canada. And I remember very clearly, he actually wanted to stay. Because, of course, moving to another country, leaving your family, it's a huge move.
Yeah.
For me, I was a little bit more like, listen, man, this is how much money we're losing. You're really you're screwing yourself over if you do this. You never know how long a business will last for. We need to protect ourselves, and we need to do this now. So I remember eventually he came around to the idea, and we started looking at ideas. We were looking at the Bahamas, Cayman Islands, Paraguay, all these different places. And initially, at first, my mentality was, I don't care where I go. I just want to pay 0% in tax. But after doing a little bit of research and looking into things a little bit further, that did change, where I went from 0% tax to, okay, that's great, but why are you making money? So that you can have a good life. Yep. So I went from 0% tax to 0% tax and quality of life. And we moved to Dubai a long time ago. In May of 2022 was the first time we actually flew in here as for this process. So around 3.5, 4 years ago. And before that, of course, we set up the company. But that's when we really flew in. And back then, it was a full 0% tax, corporate, personal, don't even worry about it. The good old days, the golden days, right? Yeah. But now it's still technically the golden days where there is no tax for most businesses. But some businesses, like ours, actually, we have to pay tax. Yeah. And I just paid my first tax bill.
Non-percent corporation.
Correct.
Okay.
Corporate tax,
So this was 3 years ago.
Yes. Over 3 years ago,
Over 3 years ago.
Let's say 3.5, 4. Whenever they're watching this, let's say 4.
Yeah, okay, so 4 years ago. So to go from 0 clients to over 800 businesses now in 4 years, that's some going.
Yeah.
That's a huge business growth trajectory, right?
Yes.
And I don't know this, and I know that the audience members will be asking me, how old are you to do this within a 4-year period?
Yeah, so when we first moved here, it was 2022, so I would have been 21.
Wow, okay.
Turning 22, because we moved in the Q1 of 2022, so I would have been 21 actually, because I turned 22 in August.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was 21, but even back then, here's what's going to add even to it a little bit more. Back then, even for the first around 1 year, we were not doing relocation as a service. We were just helping our friends and family do it. Not, to be honest, no family yet. Actually, one family now, but we were just helping our friends and people in our network do this setup, and we were doing it for free. And we just kept helping people for free. Why am I helping people for free? Number one, I just didn't feel confident suggesting them to anyone else because I went through an experience that I just don't want anyone else to experience. So I was like, you know what, listen, man, I'll do it for you. And back then I had enough time where I could do this for free, right?
Yeah.
And then number two, I actually did see myself enjoying it a lot. So after we did the initial setup for our first clients, we saw, oh, this is actually like really like interesting. I love it. Back in Canada, I wanted to be a tax auditor for our authority. So in the UK, it's HMRC. Canada, it's CRA. That's what I was going to do.
Yeah.
So I've always had a passion for tax. And after we've helped people, I saw, oh my gosh, I actually love doing this. We were still running the marketing company back then. But since the crypto market was actually going into a bear market for several years, of course, our clients were not running as many campaigns. So we were like, okay, you know what? Let's just do this and see where it goes. And it went from having 10 clients to 20 clients to on a monthly basis, we were maybe doing 1 client, 2 clients, 3 clients, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, to the point where now we can do around 50 to 60 in a month, for example. So there's a lot of volume. And just to give you an idea, the real growth has come from the last, I guess, 3 years or 2.5 years, where we really went into it full time and just gave it our all. And we shut down that other business fully. We shut that one down, I think, around 2.5 years ago. So really, once we went full on into this, that's where the real scale went. And like I mentioned, it's a really competitive industry. And a lot of people sometimes, I remember this when we first started this, we had a lot of people who were in our network that saw us doing it. And they're like, oh, like if this guy can do it, I can do it too. No, you genuinely can't. Like, and I'm not saying this for anyone, but like it takes a different type of beast to help people relocate their lives to Dubai. It's not just take the money, apply for a license. It's, yes, take their money, sure, but then give them a perfect service from start to finish.
Yeah.
It's a full-on service. You're an agency helping people relocate. It's not a info product that once it's sold on Shopify, it's done. You have to always be there for them in the following years as well.
Yeah.
And then of course 800 clients, that's companies. It's way more than people, and in that I was estimated around 1,500 people.
Wow.
So, and maybe even more. I have some clients with 4 or 5 people on their licenses. So, it's a lot to take care of. And even people close to me, like my girlfriend, for example, she's like, how do you even like manage all that? She's like shocked. And I'm like, honestly, you build up to it. You make it your life. You don't just start off at 800 companies. You started off at 1 for 6 months with no other client for 6 months, and then 2, and then 3, and then 4, and it slowly builds up to that point.
Up over time.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, now this is amazing because I think for people who are watching this, you'll know this. A lot of people want to move to Dubai to build a better life. And a lot of people will be looking to build a business here, whether they have an existing business or not, but move here for business. And off the backdrop of that, the goal is to build a better life. Mm-hmm. So in those first 1 or 2 years, what were some of the biggest lessons and challenges that you faced that kind of put you in good stead to be here today at the volume that you're doing?
Yeah, honestly, I put all of the success that we have on one simple rule that I have. Get better every single day. If you're not getting better every single day, someone else will, and someone else will take your clients. Generally, you have to get better every day, at least by 1%. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter what you do, but it's incredible to see how much that can actually help you. If it's improving your SOPs, or for example, if I have a client who had a negative experience for whatever reason, make sure that you never have another client have that same experience. And that's an incredible improvement that you can have. I can't put a number on it, figure of 1-2%, but whatever you can do to improve your process and your procedure to make sure that you're just better every single day should be done. And I think that the reason why we grew so fast was because of this. Of course, we're working hard. Of course, we're putting money into advertising. Of course, we're giving people a good service. But how do we get to that point to give them the best service, in my opinion, is by getting better every day. So when we first started our business, we had no specific guidelines of what to do. It was just, take a client, help them, just play it by ear, essentially. And the moment I had my first negative experience with a client, like it wasn't like a full-on negative experience, but they had a bad experience where their e-visa was expired, for example, and they wanted to enter after the e-visa. And they told me, oh, Kevin, you didn't tell me. And this was like a long time ago. And I was like, you know what? You're right. I didn't tell you. It does say it on the e-visa that it's only valid for 60 days, but I didn't go to you personally and tell you and put it on a written format directly to you. So we covered the cost of a totally new residency visa for them. And I then created what's called my detailed process guideline, which exists today. Right now, at the time of this recording, it's I think 36 pages
Oh, wow. Okay.
of expensive lessons. So it cost me a lot of money to make that document. So it started off with one page, with half a page of just explaining the process, step by step, to then explaining the process in detail from literally the day they start with us, what's going to happen step by step, so that not only the clients have to just trust us, but they actually know exactly what's going on. They don't have to follow up. They can go look at that document and they'll see, okay, this is happening, this is happening. Once they land in the airport, they look at their document and they'll see it's digital. So I'm just faking it, holding it, but they can look at their document and they'll see on that document it says, when you get to the airport, do this, do this, do this, do this, and here's where you do it. And there's photos showing them everything, where to go, what to do. So, for example, this for me is so beneficial for a client, and in my opinion, is a really, really good thing to have, so they can have a better experience. I don't think anyone else does it like we do, and more importantly, all of the lessons are on that document.
Yeah.
So I think that's important.
I'm interested to know, because a lot of the time, people don't necessarily take negative feedback in the right way. It's hard to receive negative feedback, especially if someone's paid you to do something.
Yes.
How did you take it when the client rings you and goes, my e-visa is expired. You didn't tell me. What's going on, Kev?
Yeah, honestly, so right away from the beginning, my mindset, and even before this business, my mindset in business overall was put yourself in their shoes. Like, genuinely put yourself in their shoes. If that was you, don't even put your mother or your father in their shoes. Actually, I think that's even better, because sometimes we forget that maybe older people don't know technology as much as newer people. So I put my father and my mother in their shoes, and I think, okay, what would I want someone to do for them? How would I like someone to treat them? That's literally how it is. So even if the client is totally wrong, they don't understand, or they're being rude, I put my parents in their shoes, and then I act like that. So for example, if they're ringing me all angry, I'll say, listen, I totally understand. I definitely don't want this to happen to you. I want things to be more clear so your process is extremely smooth. What I'll do in this case, because we didn't explain it to you well enough, we'll cover the cost of your new residency visa, so you can just enter again. Just bear with us. It'll take around 1 or 2 days to get issued, and then we'll get going from there. So that's literally what happened. I actually just did that for them, and then they were happy, super happy, right? You just put yourself in their shoes. Of course, there's going to be some times where the client is just totally wrong. You fully explained it to them properly, and they're still being rude. It happens. I have some clients, I don't want to mention them because they're very unique cases, so they'll know that it's them if they're watching this. But I have a lot of clients where that specifically happens. And even then, I try my best to still make it right for them. Like a kind of Apple service. Apple has the best service. I kind of want to do that. But if they're 100% wrong, you told them everything, of course, be nice to them. But in that case, it's not really your fault if you're
if
very transparent. I mean, the thing is, now we don't really have that happen. I think it's very, very rare for that to happen. And if it does happen, it's for something very minimal. Because we don't just tell them once, we follow up multiple times. So we'll say something once now, but then we'll say it again later, and then later, and then later, so that they can kind of protect themselves and protect us as well from getting that negative feedback. Last thing I want is negative feedback from, in a month, let's say we have 50 clients, companies, and then next month another 50, and during the process, the timeline is, let's say, 1 month to complete. You have 100 people coming and ringing at you, being all angry. So now I'd say we honestly don't have any issues. Our Google reviews are so flawless for now. Of course, as we scale and as we grow, maybe that will change, but I will do my best for that to never happen. Yeah, we always put the procedures in place. And I think one thing as well is, as we scaled, you mentioned kind of how we grew. As we scaled, we always put an emphasis on the quality of service and not profits. Genuinely, if someone messages me and says, Kevin, I want to do this, and I cannot do it for them, or I don't want to do it for them based on what they need, I'll tell them, listen, it's not a good fit for us. Money is not everything. We're blessed and we're in the position where we don't need more money, to be honest with you. We just need the best clients for us, and we want to give the clients the best service. So what we've done is we've hired people. We've trained them extremely well. I still personally train our employees. They'll call me at 8, 9, 10 p.m. and they'll ask me questions. Happy to answer, because the people who work for you are, the direct, exactly, 100%. Direct reflection of you and of your business as well. So I think if someone wants to scale a business, give the best service possible, like genuinely go the extra mile for them. Don't just give what's the market standard, because if we did that, I guarantee you we would not be at 800 companies. We have maybe like 100, 200, 300.
Yeah.
Because most of our clients now come from referrals.
Yeah.
They say, "Oh, Peter, you had a good experience. Great.
Yeah.
I'll use them too."
Yeah.
That's how it works.
So I want to go back a little bit. So you decided, okay, look, we need to pay less tax, number
Yes.
one.
Mm-hmm.
We want to have a good lifestyle to boot alongside paying less taxes, keeping more of our money. When you first landed in Dubai, what was the first thing that hit you? Was there anything that perhaps you underestimated emotionally or practically in terms of that very first impression within the first week or two?
Yeah, and I still remember it really clearly. I still remember really clearly landing here. First thing that hit me, of course, is the heat. I didn't even. Everyone knows that. I was like shocked because I've never been to Dubai before.
What month did you land?
It was in May.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
okay,
it was May 22nd, around that.
Yeah, so you're hitting into the summer months and it just gets worse from there on out.
Yeah. So it was around May, maybe 22nd or maybe 30th, one of those days, and I landed in the airport. It was not that hot though, looking back, but for an initial visit from a Canadian, who comes from a country like Canada that is cold, right? I felt that. I felt it all right. So I landed and I was like, geez, that is hot. So that was the first thing. And actually, I didn't get used to it in my first day. Like, genuinely, I did not get used to it. So that was the first thing. But when I landed, I remember we went to Downtown Views. We stayed downtown, a beautiful 2-bedroom apartment. Me and my business partner, we stayed there. And I could not believe how luxurious and how beautiful and how good the service is here in Dubai. Even small things like your cab driver putting your suitcase in the car for you.
Yes.
Small things like that. I was like helping him put it in, but he was like, no, what, no, stop. And I'm like, oh, okay, fine. You get to the apartment. Of course, it's not always going to be like this, but you get to the apartment and the people bring in your luggage for you. They check you in. They give you a full tour of the apartment. They tell you all the amenities. They tell
Walk you around the pool if you got a spa or sauna.
Everything, you know, and you're just there like, what the hell? This is incredible.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we get into the apartment and I look outside and I see the beautiful view of the Burj Khalifa. We got a Burj view for our first day. And it just motivated me so much because back then we were doing well, of course, but it motivated me to get more. Yeah, to get more. Like, this is the tallest tower in the world with the tallest, biggest mall in the world right here. And I want to get more. And I remember just hearing the cars, seeing the Lamborghinis, the Ferraris. Once we left our apartment, we'd walk to the mall. On our way to the mall, of course, from Downtown Views, we'd walk through a tunnel, but then you would go downstairs, and that's where there's a Fashion Avenue parking lot. And we went there, and I remember just walking around there and seeing cars that I've never seen in my life before, Lamborghinis that I've never seen before. Even in Canada, when you see a Lamborghini, this is like a very rare occurrence.
It's a very bad thing. It's the same back in the UK. If you see someone in a Ferrari or Lamborghini, it's like, oh, it's out of the blue. Whereas here, there's a Lamborghini or a Bentley or whatever everywhere. So it kind of loses its value, and it's shock value.
Yes, I agree.
After a while.
I agree.
But to see it is like, wow. Like, especially when you start to see some of the new ones. Like, I saw the Revialto. Parked outside a hotel the other week. And I was
incredible.
Like, wow, okay.
Yeah, it's insane the amount of wealth that's here, but it's so motivating. Yeah. It's like, wow, these guys have money to buy this car or even rent a car. It's not cheap to rent a car. You know, I haven't even rented a Lamborghini because I'm still too in the mindset of not spending recklessly. But, you know, I see people renting it and I'm like, wow, you know, this is pretty good. You know, it's incredible. And all these people are here. When you're on a drive, like you said, you'll see these cars everywhere. So for me, seeing these cars was like, wow, okay, there's a ton of wealth here. We can do something to be a part of that wealth. So I remember seeing that. And then I remember very clearly going to the restaurants here. The service here is so good, like so good. Even in Canada, the service is good. Don't get me wrong. It's great with a 15-20% tip. Once you pay that tip, you're fine. Don't worry.
Yeah, they'll remember you for the next time.
Service. Yeah, literally, you're in the mindset of like, if I don't tip, I can't come back here. It's like, if I tip 10%, I might not come back here. So it's so weird, but that's how it is. So here, no tipping culture. Of course, I suggest people to tip. People do appreciate it, but it's not forced and it's not like imposed upon you. So I remember the service was just so good. People were so nice, and this is everywhere: restaurants, gym, wherever you go. Best service in the world in Dubai, and the food. It is so good. The food in Dubai is so good, and like Canada has decent food, but trust me, Dubai is on another level. And I think the UK has decent food too.
No. Not
like
really.
Dubai.
I mean, look, we have some good food. I mean, the UK is a melting pot, isn't it? So there's
Yes.
no
Yeah,
cuisine
yeah.
that you would want in the UK that you can't get. But I agree with you. The quality of the food here
I couldn't believe it.
is next level.
Yeah.
It really is.
I couldn't believe it, and I just came back from Portugal, as you saw. I just hit this mic. As I came back from Portugal, it really gave me a clear insight on how good Dubai is specifically, because I've been to Italy, I've been to Portugal, and I'm sorry if this is blasphemy for some people from those countries. The service in those countries is not good at all. Not good at all. You get to the restaurant, people don't even greet you. I kind of joked around when I was walking through some boulevards, and there was a ton of restaurants. I kind of joked with my girlfriend saying, it's like they don't even want us to come into the restaurant, so they can just do nothing. Like, that level of service doesn't exist here. People will go the extra mile to get you into the restaurant and help you get the best food and get the best experience.
Yeah.
And it's not like, you know how in some countries where if they're outside with the menu, it's probably not a good restaurant. Here it's usually good restaurants. They're just going the extra mile.
Yeah.
And the quality of the food in those places, and even in Canada, just not that great. I spoke to one of my friends. She's from New York, and she's like, and she traveled to a ton of countries, and she said, the only country that's or city that's on par with New York is Dubai, and she thinks that Dubai has like the best food in the world with New York, for example. And New York, it's the Big Apple, they have.
It is the Big Apple, yeah.
They have some good food there.
Yeah.
So, that shocked me, as well as what else shocked me? The healthcare here. Oh, that shocked me big time. I remember the first time I wanted to get something checked up on. I had a mole on the side of my head. It might be here. It might be in the frame if you guys see it. If my haircut's short enough. I remember my girlfriend was telling me, Kevin, we got to check that out. We got to check that out. I want to make sure you're okay. And I was like, okay, fine. Let's do that. I'm probably going to have to wait like a week or two, whatever. She calls the doctor. She's like, yeah, when can we get the next appointment? They're like, yeah, you can come right now if you want. And I was like, what? Right now?
My partner had to go to the hospital. She wasn't feeling well.
Yeah.
And we checked her into the clinic by us, and she was seen within 10 minutes. Now, back in the UK, on the NHS, you're going to go sit in A&E or triage for 2, maybe 3, 4 hours, then someone will come and see you. The speed of the reception, first and foremost, then being seen, and the treatment administration blew me away.
Incredible.
And we were like, okay, we're paying, well, she's got it via her work, but I'm paying for medical insurance here. I'm happy to pay for that if I can be seen just like that. It really is incredible.
Yeah, it's like shocking almost, because you know that your home country can do that, but for whatever reason they don't. And they can do it. They can build more hospitals. They can hire more doctors. They can. I don't know if it's like this in the UK, but in Canada, it's very difficult to become a nurse or doctor. Like, to qualify to go to school for that, it's very, very difficult. Why are they making it so difficult?
Yeah.
Why? We need more of these people.
Yeah.
And then the unfortunate part is, even if they do make it in that industry, in our country, at least in Canada, they end up actually leaving Canada to go to the US.
Okay.
Because they don't get compensated enough.
Yeah.
So then, yes, we have a low amount of people who become doctors, but then they'd leave. So it's like even worse.
That's funny, because in the UK, we see a lot of doctors go to Canada or the US because the pay's better.
Yes.
In both of those.
That's something
both
that's shocking to me too. I actually didn't know that people in the UK were getting paid less than in even Canada.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this is what's going to happen. If they go to Canada, they'll go there, and then they'll probably go to the US after, because genuinely they get paid a lot more. It's like 30-50% more. And it could be more in some industries. I'm not an expert, but I know it's a lot more.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, that's something that I noticed that was just amazing. Even the other day, I just adopted 2 stray cats from the street. I found 2 cats. I put them in a water box. I brought them to the vet, and I couldn't find any parking. So I just put my signals on. I went to the thing, and I'm like, hey, can you guys come and get my cats for me? They ran out with the boxes. They jump into my car so that, the cats don't run out of the car. Put the cats into the box and immediately tend to the cats. We did a deworming. We did blood tests, everything like that. I did that all in like 30 minutes.
Wow.
And I didn't even give them a heads up. I just knocked on the door, opened it. I said, can you guys, and that's it. And I don't know if it's like that for clinics for the vet in other countries, but I remember for my cat back when we had her in Canada, she passed away now, but we would have to wait for appointments. It wasn't just
Yeah.
like walk in. It was fully booked, so
Yeah.
too much. So the thing I like here is there's a lot of options. So it makes people naturally more competitive and
Yeah.
have to be competitive to be better. So that's
Yeah.
something I like about
That's
this.
the rule of business as well, for sure. You know, if you have more competition, you're going to push to give better service, better outcomes for customers because, you know, the competition strives for you to be better.
Yeah.
Ultimately.
Actually, you're mentioning how do we grow so fast? I think that's also a really big factor. When you come here, there is just so much competition. Even if they're not directly in your industry and maybe not targeting your clients specifically, it'll motivate you to see these other people, what they do, and you'll be like, oh, okay, I want to do this too. I want to do it better. Let me do better. So I remember even in our industry, whenever I see new competitors pop up, by the way, every day I see them pop up, it just motivates me even more. So them starting their business or copying our ads, which by the way, it's insane. We have people copying our ads, our website, this, that.
That's social media.
Yeah, literally.
Take it as a compliment. You're doing something right.
Exactly.
Clearly,
Yeah.
you know, so
I'll go to. It kind of triggers me. I go to the website. And I'm like, you guys literally. This is our website with your face on it, and I'm like. Anyway, there's one thing you can't
Yeah.
copy though: our quality of service.
Yeah.
You can never replicate that. Trust me, you can. And even if someone says, "Oh, I'm gonna work as hard as you," okay, fine, I'll work even harder then.
Yeah.
I'd rather not sleep than let them do better than us. So that's kind of the mindset that I have in business too.
yeah. Because you're in the business of helping people relocate. Do you think relocation actually helps people find freedom, or is it something they actually have to actively search once they relocated?
Yeah.
And the reason why I asked is because I think I made a video on the channel where I talked about I've moved 4,000 miles from the UK, but the truth is, especially if you run a business, the routine becomes the same, just in a different location.
Absolutely.
So if you're thriving for a better lifestyle and more freedom, the act of just moving isn't enough. You've got to be conscious and intentional about trying to make sure that you maximize the freedom that you gain by moving. I'll be interested to hear your
Yeah,
point on that.
absolutely. So, first thing I'd like to say is when I first moved here, I remember clearly that I moved to a new place, but my routine was definitely changed because I wasn't used to the surroundings. I wasn't used to anything. So that did take some getting used to. It took probably around 1 year, honestly, to get fully used to it. And of course, you lose your fun group, etc. But you have great communities. I even have a great community where people can network and stuff. So that's good. But once you're all fully established and you're past the initial, I guess, culture shock, even though it's a positive culture shock in this case, once you get over that, then now you can build towards what the tax savings is giving you. So yes, just moving here won't give you freedom. What is going to give you freedom? It depends on what your definition is, of course. Some people, the freedom for them is being able to wake up 5 minutes later. For someone else, it's not working at all.
Yeah.
So what do you have to do to get there? Of course, money will absolutely help you get there. So actively actually trying to seek that freedom is great. So in my personal case, I don't necessarily have a freedom. My freedom is just being able to wake up, work, and be happy. That's for me, that's freedom. I'm free of negative emotions,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But for, I guess, more people, the freedom for them is the freedom of not worrying about money, being able to buy things. So I think some key things that you can do is reinvest your profits right away. So the initial profits, don't spend it on your lifestyle. Because if you do, you're just paying for a lifestyle with tax savings. I'd say for the first 1 to 3 years, reinvest as much as you can, especially in a growing market like Dubai, where in the next 5-10 years, we're going to become a London, we will become a New York, and every asset class here will increase. So if that's buying property or investing into your business so that you're an early mover here and then later you're getting a bigger market share, great. If that means buying a property and it increases in value, great. If that means buying equities, even Dubai-based equities, and them going up in value, great. It could even be non-Dubai, equities. It could be stocks from the U.S. market, S&P 500, whatever, right? Taking your money that you're saving and reinvesting it. Because if you just take the money you're saving and spending it, it's like you're just in the UK.
Yeah, 100%.
No
I agree with
difference.
that. 100% for sure. It's interesting what you talked about there about freedom. Because I had a conversation with a friend of mine. We've known each other for 20 years.
Wow.
He's got his business. I've got my business. He would love to make the move here, but he's got like 4 kids. And it's like, dude, like, it's going to cost me a bomb.
Yes,
I'm
yeah.
like, look, it could work if you make it work. But we were talking about freedom specifically. And one of the things that we kind of landed on was the fact that freedom looks differently to different people.
Yes.
Some people will have financial freedom. Some people will have time freedom without necessarily having the financial element to it, because it's possible just walking your kids to school or picking up your kids from school.
Yeah, that's
a
amazing.
freedom of
Yeah,
its own,
yeah.
right? And one thing that we kind of landed on is the fact that if you're in business, business can allow you to have time freedom, financial freedom. But what business doesn't often allow you is freedom of the mind, because you're constantly thinking about the business, what you can do to grow the business, how to improve, there are so many things. And it's almost a trading off point that you've got to be comfortable with. And that's regardless of whether you're in Dubai, New York, London, wherever, Canada, you've always got to have that. And I think it's really important to kind of identify what that point of freedom is for you and be comfortable within that. Because, yeah, moving to Dubai, I've been here, second year now.
Yeah.
The first 6 to 9 months is wow.
Yeah.
It's a big shock to the system. And I've had to reinvent my routine now to allow me to structure myself so I can go to the gym a little bit more now and prioritize that side of things that I didn't do before. And if I compare this to 2 years ago in the UK, this is a much better space that I find myself in because I've moved here.
Yeah, for sure. And that's actually a good point that you mentioned, the mind freedom, right? You'll always think about business. If your business grows, you'll think about business. If your business doesn't grow, you'll think about business, right? And people think, oh, well, you should just hire people to help you. Okay, you're hiring people, sure, but you now have to manage these people. So I think if you really want to get true freedom in business, is accept that business is something that is a part of your life, and accept that you need to find happiness in always having it on your mind. You should find happiness in being able to have the opportunity to worry or think about these things. Genuinely, for me, it's like a video game. I love having my business. I love it. Like when I'm in the pool, I'm thinking about business. And for me, it's an addiction. I think it's a very healthy addiction as well, because it's super stimulating, motivating, and it's, you're not smoking, you're not drinking. It's something that's good for you. Of course, it does stress you sometimes. Mm-hmm. But I think if you take the stress element away to be honest though, we don't have that much stress because we tell people everything up front. Everything is really smooth. Although we're not an info product where you just buy and it's done, I think if you build your business the right way, you shouldn't have much stress at all. The only stress that you should have is in some very rare, unique cases where something just happens for whatever reason. There's a Dubai flood. I remember there was a Dubai flood a couple of years ago. I don't even remember when it was now. A year ago, 2 years ago?
I think it was like 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, like 2 years ago now?
About 2 years ago, yeah.
It was, a year and a half, 2 years ago. And I remember that's like something you can't control. But that was like probably the biggest stressor that happened to me, because I had so many clients that flew here and they couldn't do any of their appointments because the appointment centers were underwater. I have videos of them literally underwater. People were like at their waist in the clinic still, which is actually, that's a great point. People were still in these places trying to get their stuff done while they're flooded. I remember this actually. That's insane. Looking back, I thought that was normal, but if you compare that to like a UK or something, there's a snowstorm and you're finished. They close everything, So accept that there will be some stress, but learn to rewrap it and change it to something that you appreciate.
Yeah. So for people actually thinking about moving to Dubai, setting up a business or with their business to give them the license and the ability to be here and to build a life and go through what we've spoken about, how important is it to have someone to help you navigate the complexities of it all? I mean, you guys understand the process, but I suppose for some people who may be looking at the process thinking, I can do this on my own. It shouldn't be okay. It should be okay.
Yeah.
Trading license, residence visa. Hey, easy. I can do this on my own. How important is it to have someone to help you with that process just for your peace of mind and, again, helping you attain that freedom?
I think it's extremely important. And I pulled out my phone not because I'm texting someone, because I want to show you something that happens quite a lot. People will often get the wrong setup or the right setup in the wrong way, which does happen. Mm-hmm. You can go, I can tell you this is the best free zone. Go there. Leave me alone, go there. And you could have stuff go totally wrong. And they come back to us all the time and they say, Kevin or Cheyenne, whoever, our co-founder, whoever, this happened to me. Can you please help me? So I think it's extremely important for someone to get it done right the first time with the right group of people, because otherwise you'll go through so many different things that are just not worth your time. Mm-hmm. If you're an entrepreneur that needs to save money in taxes, trust me, it's not worth your time to worry about this. there's companies that do it for you. You go to the mechanic, you're not fixing the car yourself. You go to the doctor, you're not doing your own surgery. Hire the right people to help you. And I actually want to show you something because people think, oh, well, I'm Canadian. I'm going to set up in a Dubai free zone. I'm not going to have any issues at all or whatever, right? Or I can go to Iraq or Sharjah, this, and I'm not going to have issues. Trust me, that's not what you expect. So I won't show this to the camera, but you can read through this and I'll just explain it, narrate to the people watching this.
Yeah,
This is a screenshot of a Canadian client who got their residency visa application rejected in one free zone. That was a more cost-effective free zone. Not from us, by the way. They worked with another zone, another group. So they got rejected. And by the way, this is a major company that helped them. Bigger than us in terms of clients under management. Rejected. After that, they said, okay, you know what? I'll stay with you guys. Let me just, not you guys, us, but the other people, our competitor. They said, I'll stay with you. Let me just register another one in the Dubai free zone now. They did that. Rejected again.
Why?
Because there was a brand new regulation change last week actually. Whoever's watching this video, right now it's October 29. Last week, where now if you have an investor visa, you also need to provide bank statements. And if your bank statements are not good enough or have a sufficient amount of money or balance in there, you're going to get your residency visa rejected. Because they can't prove you're an investor.
Which makes sense, yeah. I mean, it's an investor visa, so you need to show that you've got the capital. And probably they want to have all the anti-money laundering as well to see where the capital's come from. So that makes sense, yeah.
Exactly. So this is like a brand new change. But for example, one of the biggest companies, they're not on the ball like we are because we are more boutique style. And to be honest, we do as many companies as these huge companies, but we implement a ton of automation so that we're way more effective. So let's say our team, we have 10 people right now, which we do have 10 or 11. We're technically like a group of 50 because of the amount of automations and AI and everything that we implemented into our business. But like, for example, that could have been easily avoided if they just came to us and said, I wanted to do this residency visa. I would have told them, first of all, maybe that's not the best one for you. But anyway, if it is, then do you have this available for us to do this application? If he told me no, then I wouldn't do that application for him, right? So this is where it's important to work with people who are not just good, but also good and very nimble on their feet and understand what's happening in the market at what time, right?
Yeah.
We're not a mega huge company where it takes months for one piece of news to pass through the whole organization. The moment that information came across my desk, I sent it to our whole team right away. And I said, guys, this is happening right now. If you're doing any investor visas, please keep in mind you're going to need to show statements. And to be honest with you, for anyone watching this, I don't always recommend the investor visa anyway. In most cases, it's actually not better for you because the investor visa makes banking a little bit harder because you have to show your home country bank statements and business bank statements for some banks, not all. Also, if you apply for loans and credit cards in the future and stuff like this, it's harder because you're an investor. Investors technically don't have salaries; they get paid dividends.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
So how are you going to get a credit card without a salary?
Show income,
yeah, exactly. So you can do it kind of, but you'll probably have to get a collateralized credit card. So that's another thing. And another reason why I don't love it is if you have the investor visa, it costs a little bit more. And it comes with a different set of compliance and tools. And more importantly, if you're an investor, again, like I mentioned, you don't have a salary, right? So when it does come time to write off your expenses against your bill to lower your corporate tax, if you are eligible to pay it, you can't do that. It's a dividend. Dividends are paid post corporate tax.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're illegally avoiding taxes if you're doing that.
Yeah.
So that's something to keep in mind. There's so many different things, and there are way more things, but that's where we come in and we just give people the full clear picture. Ideally, I explain it to them, but also we'll just be like Batman and just do it for you without you even knowing.
Yeah.
So there's no issues in regards to that.
Just explain the whole thing around picking the right free zone for the right business and the right activity. Because I've mentioned this a few times in the ads that I run on the channel.
Yes.
And I don't think people understand what I mean by that.
Yeah.
So can you just give an example or explain why that is so important? If you're here to do this particular activity, you just can't go to a free zone over there and think it's all going to be okay.
Yeah, so it's super complex because there's different layers to it, right? A free zone could have the activity for you, but for example, the activity for you might have issues for you when it comes time to banking or compliance down the line. So we choose another one that has that same activity that we can do a business setup for you there. So number one, pick the best quality free zone. That's the first thing. Number two, pick the best quality free zone that has your activities. Because if you register in an area that doesn't have your activities, how did you even register it? You have to select what activity you have. So you just put a wrong one. So that's the first thing. And in terms of getting the right setup, I was actually speaking to someone the other day who's like a chat GPT warrior. Love this client, really nice guy.
Yeah.
But actually, I have plenty of ChatGPT warriors, I call them, where they just ChatGPT and then boom. ChatGPT and all these platforms will tell you good information, but it doesn't understand the business
nuance
setup
and the
properly. And
application.
then exactly,
Yeah.
it doesn't understand it. So, for example, it could tell you, register here in this region with this activity and get this. Great. You can go do that on your own. You'll do it. You'll set it up. You'll even use another firm maybe, and they'll do it for you. They won't really listen. They'll just do it. And then when it comes time to banking, you're not getting your account open. Or when it comes time to open a brokerage account, you're not getting it open. So it's important to work with the right people who know everything.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm telling you, even though it looks like the right setup, it could end up wrong. And I have a lot of people who say, oh, well, it went well for me. Great. I'm happy it went well for you. But you need to understand that there's a lot of people that it did not go well for. And trust me, they're not coming to you and bragging about how bad it went.
Yeah.
Trust me.
I think as well, there's also the element of that if you are thinking of doing the process on your own, it's completely fine. It's your choice. If you've got the time and the energy to be able to do that. But I think sometimes, and this is the thing that I've noticed
Yeah.
being here is, even when you go onto like even maybe some of the government websites, because there's a translation from Arabic to English, it's not as clear as you would expect it to be if you come from a Western society.
Yeah.
The information oftentimes doesn't read naturally in a way. So you've got to be prepared for the fact that there can be losses in translation.
Oh, yeah,
You'll read
big
something and
time.
be like, what does that mean exactly? Does that mean this or does it mean that?
Yeah.
And then you have to really figure out how you get the understanding of what is meant.
There's so many details about the process that just is not online. And by the way, even government websites have a lot of old information or stuff that's actually not even applicable anymore. They have
Yeah.
residency visas that don't even exist on there. That you should take it off, to be honest.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's there, right? So it's important to keep in mind that there's just so many different things. There's so many different nuances. For a setup to be done properly, trust me, don't take the gamble. It's not worth it. Like, I did it myself for our own business, and we wasted so much money, and that's how GenZone came to be. Because we had such a negative experience. Yeah, I was like, wow, this is bad. But even to this day, we learn every day. We learn something new. Or we improve our process by 1 or 2% every day. And that document, actually, just recently, it got so big because it hit like 30-something pages. It got so big that in our automation to give it to our clients in their onboarding, it didn't upload because it was so big. So I had to make another workaround for that to work. But that's the thing. We always learn more. Although we are experts, we keep learning more and more and more. And things change all the time. Regulations change, rules change. Even 1 year ago, if a client came to me and said, Kevin, I want to get a crypto account for my business, I tell them, forget about it. It's not happening. Now I can do that for people. And I'm so happy because I'm doing this for so many people. And they're super happy about that. You can legally accept crypto. Easy. Because before people were doing it kind of under the table, gray, like it's not the best way to do it. Now it's fully compliant, fully legal.
Yeah.
All clear. So, I'd say, of course, you can fix your car yourself. I personally would not fix my car myself and then go and drive in it, right?
Yeah.
I always tell people, like, for example, like even cheaping out, right? Even if you don't want to do it yourself, but you found an agency, they have decent Google reviews, whatever, right? But it's a little bit cheaper compared to a set of tires from, let's say, I don't know what cheap country has a set of tires. You're driving on the highway.
Yeah.
If you need to brake really hard and someone's in front of you, which tires do you want? And brake
You want
pads?
the more expensive ones for
Yeah,
sure, because
exactly.
it's safety at the end of the day that you're looking for.
Exactly, and that comes pretty obvious to anyone, right? But before you get into that situation where you have to brake super hard, you don't really care in some cases. But the good news for anyone watching this video, genuinely, our pricing is not expensive. Like, there are many people who charge 2-3 times more than us on a total basis, not service fee, but on a total basis. So let's say our package is $9,000, let's say, right? There's some people who charge $25,000, $35,000 or more. I think that's nonsense to charge that much, but they do. And people pay for it because they want to get that quality experience. And even in those cases, I don't know if it's a quality experience. I know what we provide is. And I have some people from those big companies that charge that much money that come to us later. And for management that are willing to pay an additional fee for us to manage them because they don't have a good experience. And same thing for even like other people on social media. I won't call out anyone specifically, but some of your favorite influencers, trust me, they're maybe reselling a GenZone service and we're doing your setup for them, or their clients come to us later for management. 100%. I could call everyone out, but I won't. I will not do that because I still like those people. I think they're amazing, and I think that maybe something might have happened or whatever. It's understandable. But yeah, it does happen a lot. So
Yeah.
I think it's important to choose the right group of people. And we don't just set up your company. We help our clients with everything. We help them find a rental when they come here. We help them get car rentals as well if they need. We even have special discount codes and promotions for them. Even if you're watching this and you're not a GenZone client and you rent supercars in Dubai, go to renty.ae, use code GenZone. We have these programs available for people. We do holiday home management. We help people buy their properties here. We do it the right way. So we're really a full-on partner from start to finish. And more importantly, in the following year, when we renew their license, we don't charge them a service fee. So it's not like we're like a super premium charging you up the, rear end. We're not doing that. We give people genuinely like an offer they cannot refuse.
Yeah.
That's how I like to do it.
Really quick question for you, actually, and this is on the back of what you said about crypto before we wrap up.
Yeah.
I want to know your take on this, okay? So the HMRC in the UK has now finally caught up with crypto. So what they've done is they've started to send out letters to 65,000 wallet holders who have not declared crypto returns.
Correct.
What's your take on that? Because I know probably 2 or 3 people that did very, very well on crypto who are in Dubai right now, bought properties, and I'm sure they are very, very nervous right now. What's your take on?
So here's the good news for people from the UK, which I cannot believe this is even real. But if you leave the UK and don't return within 5 years, and you leave the UK and become a UK non-resident, then all of your crypto gains that you've made while you're in the UK are tax-free if you move to Dubai. So those guys who bought properties, just stay.
Don't go back.
Don't go back. Stay here. Make sure you're a tax resident here, and don't go back for at least 5 years.
Yeah.
After that, actually, you can go. You can sell the properties at a gain. Go back to the UK, 100% legal, 100% compliant. Now, for the people staying in the UK, not declaring their taxes to the UK and just cashing out, that's a different story.
Yeah.
I think that the HMRC is just sending out letters in the dark right now. I know that they have a list, but it will take a lot of manpower for them to really go over all these people. And I actually think that the number is probably more than 60,000 letters being sent out.
Yeah.
I think they're maybe just making it seem smaller, and this is my own opinion, smaller so that maybe the people that do receive the letters feel more targeted.
Yeah.
This is my thing. It's like, imagine, for example, you receive the letter and the HMRC says, oh, we sent out 300 letters. Mm-hmm. You're going to feel like, oh, crap. They know me. They know me. So I think it's actually maybe more than 60,000. And maybe it's like not a physical letter. It could be like an email, a compliance thing, etc. Because I know they're doing this in Canada too. And they do have this reporting in Canada. But actually, I've heard of some people that don't declare it and they're not even targeted. And I've had some people call me about that. And I'm like, listen, man, don't talk to me about that. I don't want to work with you.
Yeah.
But for Canadians, we have to pay tax when we leave.
There's an exit tax.
Exit tax.
Okay, yeah.
You don't have that. And I think for anyone from the UK...
Well, they were going to try and bring it in.
Oh, they will bring it in.
It,
yeah, absolutely, they'll bring it in. If they don't bring it in, it's a dumb decision on their end. And I hate paying tax, but I think if I was in their shoes, I put myself in anyone's shoes. If I was in their shoes and I'm losing 10,000 millionaires per year, how many pre-millionaires is on top of that? Maybe 20 more thousand?
Yeah.
Your country is going down the drain.
Yeah.
You're losing all this tax money. And people say, oh, millionaires don't pay tax. Trust me, they pay tax.
Yeah.
It might not be directly from them. It could be their employees. There are hundreds of employees that are paying income tax. It's getting paid somewhere.
Yeah.
It's not going to nothing. So I think that they will implement it. So for anyone from the UK right now, get over here now.
Yeah.
Before it's too late.
Yeah.
Because the door will close.
Yeah.
The golden days are here right now still.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I think that's a great way to kind of conclude this episode. As I always say, one of the best things you can do if you're in this mindset at the moment where you're doing research, thinking about coming to Dubai, and registering a business is your main port of or vehicle to do so, book a free call with Kevin and the team. There's no obligation whatsoever for you to actually use them, but have a conversation, pick their brains, ask questions, and see what the process is like. You've got nothing to lose at the end of the day and everything to gain. And I think that's probably the most optimal thing you could do for yourself today. There will be a link in the description and pinned in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. It's been really good catching up with you as well, Kev,
Likewise,
again.
Really good to speak with you. It doesn't feel like a podcast. I forgot. I didn't even look at the cameras once this time.
Yeah.
I forgot.
So, yeah, and I'll catch you in the video next time, and we'll do more with Kevin in more months to come. Cheers.